Good morning, maayong buntag sa atong tanan. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Buenos dias a todos. Greetings to all our viewers on YouTube and Zoom. Before we begin, please keep your audio on mute during the whole duration of the program to avoid distractions. You may opt to turn on or off your camera as we go on with our virtual launch. To start with this most awaited event, let us hear the overwhelming words of welcome from our very own Deputy Director General for Museums, Dr. Ana Maria Teresa P. Labrador.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? So I really feel excited about this virtual launch. Unfortunately, I think they have heightened health protocols now in Zamboanga City, so they can't really open physically the exhibition. So thank you very much for allowing me to maybe Eden, not so overwhelming welcome, but I do want to make sure that you are all excited as I am about this. This program, this project has been, I think, about 6 years in the making because we keep starting and then stopping and starting and stopping. So it was really we need to exert unusual will, no, to be able to do this. And in the time of the pandemic, it's not a very easy thing to do. We were already beginning to install the exhibition in July, and then we had to stop because of the heightened restrictions, and then we started again. We're very grateful really to our team in Zamboanga for also being well, they're excited, but also willing to work on this project. This is not about the National Museum. This is about our community in Zamboanga City and all the different groups, especially the Sama Dilaut, no? Who we're showcasing now. So according to our studies, there are about 15 boat types, and we have 10 of them in the museum, and very, very happy to be able to do that. When we were reconstructing and restoring Structure C among the 4 buildings within the quadrangle of the Fort Pilar National Museum, I already thought of, the wonderful way we could display the lepa, which is the houseboat. It's enough to fit in a family of 5. And I thought maybe it would be interesting to hang the boat from the ceiling. And so our restoration team actually decided to strengthen the supports from the ceiling and also cut away that area between that floor between the first and second floor, so that it could actually be properly suspended there. No, and so people can also look underneath. What not many people probably know is that the Sulu Sea actually is the host to the Tubataha Reefs, which is the underwater. It's the World Heritage Site, the UNESCO World Heritage Site. No, so it's it's a lot of things to be proud about. But programs like this cannot happen without our wonderful team. So as I mentioned, those in Zamboanga. So it's also a revelation for us. When I had to go twice in Zamboanga City, it was really interesting that to find out that Eden is actually half Sama, and that our longtime staff in Zamboanga, our Zamboanga National Museum, FEM, is actually very knowledgeable about the boat culture. And so it was really time to also share their knowledge. No? But I would also like to thank our teams from the Maritime and Underwater Cultural Heritage Division. So that's Ligaya Laksina, Bobby Orillaneda, and Rachel Ann Oreta. And then with our zoology division, no, because it took us really a long time, Dr. Evangelista, Luisito Evangelista, could not anymore wait for us to be able to put this together. So he retired last June. And then so that's also, so Joseph Comendador actually led the team with Jasmine Meren, Joseph Foronda, and Isa Domingo. Of course, their head, Marivin Santos. No? Thank you also to the Exhibition, Editorial, and Media Production Services Division. That's Alan Alvarez, Architect Elmer Burse, Maria Johanna Frias, and Erica May Reyes. They've helped us actually navigate the very difficult way of having to put together exhibitions by remote, no? And also, of course, the ethnology division. Nicolas Quadra, our senior museum researcher, already has retired, no? And then so Jane Meren Dasal, Danette Megal Bio, Edwin Mirandilla, and Marites Tauro helped us make sure that also the conservation of ethnological collections are actually done properly. So, but we also want to thank our contractor, no, Miko Metals, who actually helped us make sure that we've done this properly. The idea of hanging a lepa, no, a full-size lepa is actually quite crazy, I think, for some people, but they managed to see the vision through, no? And so we're very excited, and I hope that there will come a time when we can actually physically visit the exhibitions. We have, besides this 2 exhibitions, we have 3 more coming. So please stand by, and we'll be announcing that in next month. So Maayong buntag, thank you so much for being here with us, sharing this very important milestone for the National Museum. We're celebrating our 120th year this month, so please join us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doc Anna, for that warm and very informative welcome message. Indeed, the Sama Dilaut like us are very happy and proud with this initiative of the National Museum of the Philippines. And now, to grace the event, let us hear the message of our National Museum of the Philippines Director General Jeremy Barnes.
Buenos días con ustedes. Con orgullo hay presenta con vosotros la exposición La Ciudad de Zamboanga este día. Good morning to all our distinguished guests. Honorable Mayor of the City of Zamboanga, Honorable Maria Isabel Climaco, our virtual guests from all over the country and elsewhere, and a shout out especially to our National Museum employees all over the country from Batanes to Jolo. We braved the raging COVID-19 pandemic by continuously installing exhibitions and providing education programs, albeit virtually most of the time these days. But today, we open our doors to showcase physically the rich collections of our Western Southern Mindanao Regional Museum in Zamboanga City at the historic site of Fort Nuestra Senora del Pilar through what we call intersecting currents, the Sama Dilaut and the Sulu Sea, and the underwater of the Sulu Sea exhibitions. The installation of these 2 exhibitions entailed a digital coordination among the members of the curatorial team in Manila and in Zamboanga amidst the pandemic situation in the country. Finally, after a lot of work and taking great care, we will have a glimpse of the Sama Dilaut life-size boats, boat building tools, various fishing implements, fish nets, fish traps and spears, a representation of our cherished UNESCO World Heritage Site, Tubataha Reef in the Sulu Sea, to the unique curvy linear wall that you will notice. It also features different maritime life, from corals, crustaceans, echinoderms, mollusk fishes to giant turtles. And the suspended Lepa boat provides a glance of the life at sea of our Sama Dilaut. We also pay tribute to a former colleague, Noel Escultura, an artist and former curator of our arts division here at the National Museum. His installation art, dedicated to the buklog ritual of the Subanon, the traditional wedding of the Yakan, and the boat building tradition of the Sama Dilaut, is made out of woodcuts and dramatically lit from the back. It is an older work that we have freshened and reinstalled, as part of actually the heritage of the National Museum in Zamboanga City, where we have been for quite some time now. The activity area, specially dedicated for that, will provide audiovisual information of southern Mindanao to our visitors through the documentary Tawi Tawi, produced in 2017, which is part of the Passages series by photographer Jacob Maintz and the Extra Mile Productions. The text panels include translations in Chavacano and Bisaya, while Tagalog and English text can be accessed via QR codes. The online launch of these two exhibitions will allow our followers to have a museum experience virtually. We will welcome them physically as restrictions will allow, following health protocols, but this looks like it will be sooner rather than later, so fingers crossed. We are glad that despite the challenges, many good things are happening in the regional museums of the National Museum of the Philippines. And Zamboanga City is part of this really welcome development that we've been able to accomplish together with our friends and partners. In closing, let me convey my deep gratitude to everyone who supports all our online and on-site, virtual and physical museum endeavors. Con ustedes aquí na Filipinas y con aquellos na otro país, muchas gracias por de ustedes tiempo. Esta na buen salud.
Muchísimas gracias, Director Bartz, for that refreshing and inspiring message. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to witness virtually the main highlight of today's event, the virtual launch of the two exhibitions, the Intersecting Currents and the Sama, Dilaut, and the Sulu Sea, and the exhibition, The Underwater Jewels of the Sulu Sea.
At the southern part of Mindanao lies the 17th century museum facility of the National Museum of the Philippines in Zamboanga City. This facility initially served as a southern outpost of Spanish domain, which was built and laid its cornerstone on June 23, 1635, and was formally named Real Fuerza de San Jose and later changed into Nuestra Señora del Pilar de Zaragoza. Through Presidential Decree 260 on August 1, 1973, Fort Pilar was declared as a national cultural treasure. The exhibition Intersecting Currents, the Sama, Dilaut, and the Sulu Seas explores the natural and cultural sphere of the Sama Dilaut of southwestern Mindanao in the Philippines throughout the Sulu Sea. The backlighted mural of Noel Escultura is dedicated to the Subanon's buklog ritual, the traditional wedding of the Yakan, and the Sama Dilaut's house on stilts, Bugo, duck-out boat, and Lepa houseboat. Tepo is a traditional double-layered mat of the Sama Dilaut, made of multicolored pandan strips with geometric patterns. Among the Sama, tepo is considered an important possession. Though mainly used for sleeping, it also serves as a treasured gift for newlyweds. Disputes are also settled over spread-out tepo, earning its name Mat of Peace. Bereaved families also offer tepo to the imam or the community religious leader to recite prayers during the burials. A walkthrough of the rich marine resources of the southwestern Philippines could be appreciated with a panoramic view of the Tubataha Reef located at the center of the Sulu Sea. Bubu, the general term for fish traps, is made of woven bamboo strips with stones or corals on its corners as sinkers. Its design, shape, overall size, and opening size depend on the desired fish to be trapped. Togong is another type of trap design for crabs. Renowned for their free diving abilities, the Sama Dilaut also uses a variety of spears with attached or detachable spearheads in varying sizes, shapes, and a number of spikes or barbs to catch fish and crustaceans underwater. The Sama Dilaut also weaves fishing nets made of abaca fibers with seashells as sinkers and pieces of softwood as floaters. Salibut togeng is a throw net for shallow waters. It has a finely woven mesh and tiny holes to catch a few small-sized fish. Salibut tatik, on the other hand, is for deep waters and large-sized fish. It has larger holes, sinkers, and floaters. On display are marine fishes and turtles, corals, sponges, echinoderms, crustaceans, and mollusks from the National Zoological Collection. The Sama Dilaut has 15 types of boats. 10 of these large ones are exhibited in this gallery. The primary tool for boat building is the patuk, a general name applied to various axes, hatchet, and adze-like tools. Different types of Sama Dilaut's miniature boats are also displayed in this gallery. The Lepa houseboat is the Sama Dilaut's largest sea vessel. This Lepa was built by the Sama Dilaut boat builders along the shores of Sitangkay in Tawi-Tawi in the 1990s. The Lepa serves as their home, transportation, and fishing boat. The logs used to build a Lepa are usually adrift from lumbering camps in Sabah, Malaysia. Sundok is an upright piece of wood or stone graves markers usually carved with ochre design like those on their boats broke. The sex of the deceased is recognized from the general shape of the sundok. For males, it is usually columnar and topped with a truncated cone. For females, it is often flat and triangular. Meanwhile, the smaller size sundok are used for children, living in their lepa houseboat, roaming in the rich sea water. And when a sama dies, they bury their departed family in the land and keep their connection to the sea through the sandok.
Muy bien. That 7-minute video has brought us to the world of the sea gypsies of the southern Philippines. We are excited to open our doors real soon. The Sama Dilaut's boat building skills, ingenuity, and worldview towards the sea are reflected in their crafts and arts. This exhibition surely brings delight to all the Sama Dilaut like us here in Mindanao, especially to those who cannot go back to Tawi-Tawi due to limited mobility. Seeing the lepa houseboat, tepo, and all other traditional materials we use in our everyday lives, this exhibition serves as our comfort in these times of pandemic that will remind us of our homeland and culture in Tawi-Tawi. Meanwhile, our very supportive Zamboanga City Mayor, Honorable Maria Isabel Climaco, has a message to share with us.
Paz de Dios y abrazo de Nuestra Señora la Virgen del Pilar y San Jose a todos con el Northwestern Mindanao, Southern Mindanao Regional Museum virtual launch and the newly installed exhibitions. We would like to say enhorabuena. The Intersecting Currents, the Sama Dilaut, and the Sulu Sea and the underwater jewels of the sea. I would like to say bienvenidos a todos to this virtual exhibit. To our educators, students, media professionals, and partners, amidst the pandemic, may we look at our history to forge our her stories so that these stories of our people would be able to leave an indelible ink of our identities. Desde aquí, na ciudad de Zamboanga, allow me to say muchísimas gracias con todo, particularmente to the National Museum for giving us this opportunity to really hold on to these treasures of who we are as a Filipino. Otra vez, este es el alcalde Ben Climaco que te felicita con todo con ustedes. In this time of the global pandemic and the surge of the Delta variant, makipag-asa po tayo sa Pilipino. Let us have faith in God, hope in the new normal, and above all, love God, love family, and love humanity. Vaya con Dios a todos.
Muchísimas gracias, Alcalde Ben Climaco, por tu mensaje. For those who are asking about the availability of this video, we are live on YouTube and will be recorded to be played on Facebook. Today's affair is not complete without the presence of the Spain ambassador to the Philippines, who will also deliver his word of encouragement and wisdom, His Excellency Jorge Moragas Sanchez.
Maganda umaga sa inyong lahat. Muy buenos días. Um, it's a pleasure as Ambassador of Spain to participate in this virtual inauguration of both exhibitions that are taking place in Zamboanga City. I want to say hello to the director of the National Museum, Jeremy Barnes, and Ana Labrador, who's been deeply involved in the organization of these two exhibitions, and in addition to the mayor Climaco, who I met in Fort Pilar del Pilar a few years ago. So I had the pleasure to be in Zamboanga several times, and I find out that it's a very wonderful city. And today we acknowledge that these two exhibitions are going to take place in that very place, in the Fuerte del Pilar in Zamboanga. Are very interesting approaches in both exhibitions. The one related with the jewels of the Sulu Sea. Me as a diver and a lover of the subaquatic life of this country is of course a very interesting exhibition that I would like to watch presentially, and I'm looking forward to go and to visit Fuerte del Pilar again to do it. And the other one is related with the culture of shipping at that time in the pre-colonial times, of course, and everything related with the sea is, of course, connected with the culture and knowledge through the seas and the oceans that we can enjoy or will enjoy in these wonderful exhibitions. According to the images that I've seen and the information that I got from the National Museum, I just want to congratulate you for that endeavor and these wonderful exhibitions. I've seen the building or the shape of those ships from that region, and I think the way they've been exhibited in this exhibition is a very well done job. So congratulations, and I just want to say that I'm looking forward to visit it presentially, because we have to acknowledge that the virtual approach is always very useful, especially in these during times of pandemic and absence of real mobility. But the presential visit and the touch and the visual experience will be much more interesting. So congratulations for this incredible job, and to provide for providing these samples of culture in the shipping and the underwater knowledge of this wonderful country, especially in that region. So I want to underline, of course, the importance and the wonderful experience throughout the years that the Bajau culture has provided to humankind. The Bajau culture is a very unique example of how mankind can develop their lives in a water entourage, and no better or beautiful entourage we can see in the world that here in that area of the Philippines. So congratulations, muchas gracias y mucha suerte en la exhibición y exposición que hoy se inaugura virtualmente. Maraming salamat po.
Magandang umaga din po. Muchísimas gracias, Su Excelencia, Senyor Sanchez, por tu mensaje. Kami po ay umaasa sa inyong muling pagbisita. As we approach the end of this activity, may we take this opportunity to gratify the people behind the success of this program. So to formally convey our gratitude, may we have our Deputy Director General for Administration, Attorney Maria Rosen M. Flores Avila.
Thank you, Eden. Hello, everyone. Good day to our special guests, especially Honorable Jorge Moragas, our Spanish ambassador to the Philippines, Honorable Maria Isabel Climaco, Mayor of Zamboanga City, and of course, our virtual guests via Zoom platform and those who are streaming via YouTube. In observance of Museum and Galleries Month, we welcome with pride these two new exhibitions which you have just experienced, Intersecting Currents, the Sama Dilaut and the Sulu Sea, and the Underwater Jewels of Sulu Sea in our Western Southern Mindanao branch in Zamboanga City. As you have seen, it highlighted the rich cultural heritage and diverse maritime resource of Southern Mindanao. The exhibitions were completed amidst the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic, shifting from one quarantine restriction to another and a higher restriction at that. And we commend the resilience of the curatorial team who navigated the installation remotely, harnessing technology to bridge the gap caused by the many restrictions and face-to-face limitations. So today we launch these exhibits virtually as the city reverted to modified enhanced community quarantine. And as we end this online activity, we look forward for the opportunity to physically open the doors of these exhibitions in Zamboanga City to our museum visitors. So to everyone, thank you very much for gracing this virtual launch. We look forward to have you in our future cyber-based programs and hopefully on-site education activities. Have a great day ahead and thank you for gracing this virtual launch.
Thank you so much, Attorney Avila. Towards the end, may we request everyone to please turn on your camera for a photo opportunity. Group photos will be taken by page. We have three pages, so we will start with page 1. Full gallery. May we request everyone to please turn on their camera. Okay, at the count of 3, please project your best smile. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, let's turn to page 2. Nakita ko si Didi. Please turn on your cameras. Okay, at the count of 3, may hahabol pa ba? Ready na po ba yung iba? Hey, baby. Okay, at the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, smile! Okay, let's turn to page 3. Bukas po ako ng camera ng iba. Okay. Sige, baka nahihiya sila or baka desktop ang gamit nila. Okay, at the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, smile! Thank you so much! For those who missed the live activity, please visit our YouTube account for the replay. Also, please follow our Facebook page and Instagram accounts at National Museum of the Philippines and at National Museum Western Southern Mindanao, or search us through the hashtag National Museum PH to get more updates on our museum activities and other programs. Again, thank you very much for joining us today. Stay safe y muchísimas gracias a todos. Si Didi. Ano, naka-open mic ako. Hi, baby!